Hi everyone, and welcome to another OpenIPC tutorial. Very quickly, we are going to start. We have a lot of things to cover. So first thing, we need to start by flashing the new APFPV into our new EMAX Wyvern 200 milliwatt cameras, and we are going to use the companion. The companion is an alternative to configurator. I'm not going to explain what that means. Very quickly, we are going to open a browser and type companion OpenIPC, and that will be the first link. We are going to click that link and then releases, and the latest one that includes this firmware is this version, and we're going to select the Windows version, but if you want, you can choose the version that fits your operating system, such as Linux, Mac OS, for example. We are going to use the companion only to flash the firmware, because everything else is happening from the goggles. You don't need anything else to use. So let's open and extract the companion, and we are going to execute this executable file, companion.desktop.exe. Right click as administrator, very important. More info, run anyway. And I believe at this moment, yeah, so this is the IP of my camera, and this is the password. The default is 12345. Whatever firmware you have, it should connect. So we are going to power on the camera, and always use a fan while working on the bench. We will wait a few seconds. And then click connect. And keep an eye here for any errors. It's not connecting. Okay, let's try again. It's not working. Okay. Now, okay, we have to wait for this to become blue. While it's red, for some reason it's not working. It will not work. So it became blue. I clicked the connect, and now everything is ready to go. Then we go to firmware. And the firmware source, we're going to select the Greg APFPV. And then select firmware. From here, we're going to use the SSC 338Q nor APFPV Greg10. And then we'll click update. It says here that it is downloading the firmware, and now it is flashing the camera. Remember, you will need the 081 companion for this to work, and make sure to not interrupt the flashing. You can see the stats of the camera up here as well, what components are included: the camera sensor, the SOC, and the net card. Okay, that's it. Now it has been rebooted. We don't need that anymore. We close it. and everything else will happen into our VRX. Okay, now we are in our VRX, and let's enter in the menu, the new menu of OpenIPC. And let's go ahead and see all the options. System settings. This is the codec. We can select which codec to decode. This is the option of WFB or APFPV. So we can have both options, both firmwares used with one VRX firmware. This is to render the OSD into the ground station. This is the resolution of the VRX, but I have it at 720p that fits my goggles. The video scale factor, this is to scale the video. The VSync, I'm not really sure what that does, but I'm gonna leave it as it is. Request IDR, this is something that is from the adaptive link of Greg. I'm not gonna touch it. This is the live color trans. If I enable it, look behind what will happen to the screen. See, it changed. The color trans is a technique to balance the spikes, to control the bitrate in the camera, to not be all over the place and causing stutters or glitches. With the color trans we balance it and it comes much more even. All the packages are more even, and that helps a lot with how smooth the video is. However, you can see that it is a little bit weird. The colors are very dimmed or very weird, the colors. But by enabling this option, we remove this effect and we have the colors back to as it should be. But now I'm gonna leave it off because I want to show you also the other menus. We are recording, of course, but when we have the DVR re-encoder, basically the new VRX has two types of recording. One is the recording of the video stream as it comes from the camera, and the second one is basically a screen recorder. It will record whatever is on the screen. That means it might have a little bit poorer quality, the DVR, because it has to re-encode, and I will show you what that means. So I'm using the codec 2H265 to re-encode the DVR with the OSD, as you can see, and that is a caveat that we only have 30 frames per second and 24 megabits per second if we want to record the OSD. But if I disable this option, I can have 60 frames per second. And if I disable the re-encode option, then we can even have 120 frames per second of DVR, but without the OSD. Furthermore, when we have to enable the color trans, the first recording, this recording will have this weird dimmed colors and lighting. With the live color trans, if we have the re-encode, we will have normal video. This menu, the APFPV, is something that we don't need to change anything. This is the SSID and the password and the Wi-Fi module that it is being used, and we can use only one. These are the DVRs, so we can play them as well on our goggles directly. The telemetry, to select which serial port for telemetry for the MSP OSD. These are the camera options. So yes, this is incorrect. This is not the correct option for the video mode. The mode that is correct for this camera is 16:9 aspect ratio, and any other resolutions you may want, 1080p 90 frames per second for example, or we can select this one, 1080p 60 frames per second, which is a standard resolution. Okay, and then the codec, the scope size, but we don't normally change those options unless you know what you're doing. This is the recording on the camera if we had an SD card, which we don't. Okay, next option is the adaptive link. This is where we select which channel to use. Like 161 for example, and that is 20 megahertz. If we want 40 megahertz, we go to these options, the two values. Like for example, this is the 161 option, but it's from channel 157. And we select this, and if you see up here, it's now 40 megahertz, and you can see the bit rate, it's 30. And we can also select even 80 megahertz. Okay, in case it gets stuck, what we need to do is restart the camera first and then the VRX, and it should connect automatically. If not, we go to the menu, then APFPV, and we click the reset APFPV, and it should connect again. Let's move to the next option, which is the 80 megahertz. Let's choose this channel, and you can see up here it's now 80 megahertz. Okay, but let's move back to 20 megahertz. We don't need that high bandwidth. This is basically to have higher bit rate. And then this is the VTX power output. We set it to maximum and we leave it like that because everything is managed by the adaptive link. The link resilience, which is exactly in the middle, in the center, and we leave it as it is. All these settings are from the adaptive link. The OSD size, if we want to increase it or decrease it, and the OSD level, how much OSD information we want. So if we set it to 0, for example, we don't have any. Okay, but let's select let's set it back to all the level of OSD. The signal bar up here, this bar, if we want it or not. This slider will set the bitrate and all the settings. So the throughput is at 39%. If we want higher bitrate, we will increase this slider. If we want more solid link, we reduce this slider. So higher bitrate means more glitches, less stable link. And this temperature throttle threshold is when the camera is going to reset to protect it from burning. The presets, they are not working, and I don't think we will ever need them, to be honest. But yeah, that's it. Basically, that's all from the menu. And let's enable the color trans, the decolor trans actually, to remove the effect and bring back the colors to normal. Yeah, you can see now that the colors are fine. I can see like some layers of colors. They are not 100% natural. All these color trans development is very new, and it will keep improving in the future, but this helps a lot, as you will see in the new videos that I will show you in a minute, that there are no glitches, almost no glitches. Okay, let's go outside now and test it. Another thing that's worth mentioning is that Greg also developed a tool to remove this effect if we want to have the native DVR coming from the camera, and it's called VfxEnc. It's basically a GPU shader encoder for Windows, and you can see the before and the after the re-encoding. This is post-processing. That means it requires extra steps to create a new file from the original DVR without any loss in quality. And you go to the releases, and this is the file that you want to use.
Shit is about to get real. Angle engines are angle mode. Battery 90%. Battery 80%. Battery 70%. Low battery. Acro mode. Battery 60%. Angle mode. Battery 50%. Shit is about to get real. Angle. Engines are angle mode. Battery 90%. Battery 80%. Shit is about to get real. Angle engines are acro mode. Angle mode. Battery 70%. Low battery. Acro mode. Battery 90%. Battery 80%. Battery 70%. Battery 60%. Low battery. Engines disarmed. Shit is about to get real. Engines armed. Acro mode. Angle mode. Battery 90%. Battery 80%. Shit is about to get real. Engines armed. Angle mode. Battery 90%. Battery 80%. Battery 70%. Acro mode. Low battery. Angle mode. Battery 50%. Engines disarmed. Shit is about to get real. Engines armed. Acro mode. Angle mode. Battery 90%. Battery 80%. Battery 70%. Battery 60%. Low battery. Battery 50%. Angle. Engines disarmed.